50 Cent has just publicly exposed that he's been using Tammy Cowins like a fool this entire time. After securing his position as the head of BMF, he wasted no time in cutting her off completely, stating that if she could snitch on Big Meech, she could snitch on anybody, with no hesitation. 50 dismissed her, bluntly calling her very useful, but no longer necessary in his empire. This shocking revelation has sent shockwaves through the streets and the entertainment industry, proving once again that 50 Cent is always 10 steps ahead. But how did we even get here? Let's break down the entire story, from Tammy's involvement with BMF to how she played right into 50 Cent's hands, only to be discarded like a chess piece once he no longer needed her. For those unfamiliar with Tammy Cowins, she has been a crucial figure in the Black Mafia family story. Over the years, she positioned herself as a close associate of Big Meech, acting as his right hand in business dealings and playing a key role in maintaining the BMF legacy while Meech was behind bars. She was trusted, respected, and seen as someone deeply involved in both the entertainment and street aspects of BMF's operations. When 50 Cent took control of the BMF series on Stars, Tammy was one of the people he had to work with. She had access to Meech, insight into the real BMF story, and connections that made her valuable. But here's the thing about 50 Cent. He never truly trusts anyone. While Tammy thought she was working closely with 50 to protect Meech's legacy, 50 was quietly playing his own game behind the scenes. At first, their partnership seemed strong. Tammy provided valuable information that helped shape the BMF series, ensuring the story was told with authenticity. She played her role, thinking she had a solid position within the empire. But what she didn't realize was that 50 was simply keeping her close until he no longer needed her. The biggest turning point in this saga was a revelation that Tammy had allegedly snitched on Big Meech. This accusation shook the streets, sending waves of controversy through the BMF circles. While some people believed she was simply doing what she had to do to protect herself, others saw it as the ultimate betrayal. 50 Cent, being the master manipulator he is, kept this information in his back pocket. He watched and waited, knowing that the moment would come when he could use it to his advantage. And when he finally secured his position as the head of BMF, he wasted no time in exposing Tammy for what she truly was, a disposable asset. Publicly, 50 declared that Tammy had served her purpose, but she was no longer needed. He outright stated that if she was capable of snitching on Big Meech, she could snitch on anybody, making her a liability. Just like that, the woman who thought she had a seat at the table was tossed aside like yesterday's news. This move is classic 50 Cent. If you followed his career, you know that he plays chess, not checkers. He builds alliances when they benefit him, but the moment someone becomes a potential threat, or simply no longer useful, he cuts them off without hesitation. Tammy likely believed she had a strong position alongside 50, but in reality, she was nothing more than a pawn in his larger game. He needed her to gain insight into BMF, to control the narrative, and to maintain legitimacy while taking over the brand. But now that he's fully in control, keeping her around serves no purpose. In fact, it would only be a risk. By publicly exposing that he'd been using her all along, 50 is sending a clear message to anyone else in his circle. Loyalty is conditional, and when you outlive your usefulness, you're gone. With Tammy now out of the picture, the dynamics within BMF are shifting yet again. 1. Big Meech's response. While Meech is still locked up, you can bet that he's paying close attention to how this is all playing out. If he truly trusted Tammy, then this revelation is a major betrayal. But if he already suspected her of being disloyal, then he might see this as just another consequence of the game. Either way, 50 Cent's decision to cut her off puts Meech in an interesting position. He now has to reassess who is really in his corner. 2. Lil Meech's position. Lil Meech, who has been caught in the middle of all this drama, now has to navigate a world where 50 Cent is fully in control. With Tammy gone, he has even less leverage, making it clear that if he wants to stay in the game, he has to play by 50's rules. 3. Rick Ross and MMG's role. Remember, Big Meech and Lil Meech have both signed under Rick Ross's MMG. This means Ross now has a stake in the BMF story as well. But with 50 Cent calling the shots, Ross has to decide how he wants to move. Will he try to challenge 50's power? Or will he simply accept that No matter what happens in the music industry, 50 still controls the BMF narrative. 50 Cent's decision to publicly call out Tammy and expose her as a liability has sparked major discussions. Some people respect his strategic moves, seeing this as yet another example of why he remains undefeated in the game. Others, however, see this as a ruthless betrayal, proof that 50 will use anyone to get what he wants before tossing them aside. But let's be real, anyone who's been watching 50's career knows this is just business as usual for him. He's always been about power, control, and making sure he's the one dictating the terms. Tammy was useful when he needed her, but now that she's no longer an asset, she's gone. Simple as that. With Tammy out of the picture, 50 Cent is now